Hello, this is Kale.
Wait, you need to put this up.
I don't think it can stand. Hello, this is Kale, and welcome to the Kale Scale. This episode, since I'm trying to do a DCOM, Disney Channel original movie, for every time I record in November, is Cheetah Girls. Starring, and I only say starring because she's the only person who really had a career after this, or what would amount to a career. Being stuck on The View for forever, I don't know if that counts as a career, is Raven Simone from That's So Raven. This movie is very 2000s in the worst ways possible. The basic plot about this movie is that the Cheetah Girls, who, note, never wear any cheetah clothing whatsoever. They wear leopard print, but there is no reason to call them the Cheetah Girls. The only reason to call them that is because some 50-year-old Disney executive was like, hey, a Cheetah Girl sounds like a good name, let's call them that. It's about the Cheetah Girls trying to get a record label and then finding out, oh hey, this guy called Jackal, which is like obviously a bad guy name, producer, is not good for us. And just following all four of these girls with different backgrounds. You got Raven, she's mixed in this movie, her mom's black, and then her dad is like any number of different ethnicities. Cause like he uses a weird accent. I can't tell if he's Hispanic, Italian, or French. He could be all three. Then you have one who her only thing that she's from Texas. And she doesn't have any parents because her dad just left her in New York or whatever. You have one, she's Puerto Rican, that's about it. And then you have the last girl, which her thing is, she is a foster kid and she doesn't want her friends to know that because I guess that's just lame being a foster kid. So she just pretends like she just has to go somewhere every time so they don't find out where she lives. Like there's a scene where she has Raven drop her off at a hotel, like a fancy looking one. And she just uses that as an excuse to go to the alley next to it, to go to her little apartment. And like she has some weird identity crisis. And to quote, I'm not black, I'm not half black, I'm not even white, I don't know what I am. They try to have racial messages in this, but this is a Disney Channel original movie, so none of it comes off well. Half the time they're like, yeah, we're diverse, I think there's even like a song about it. But then she has this weird freak out moment where I don't know who I am. Raven, halfway through the movie, just turns into a total jerk for no reason, just because they're semi-famous, just because some weird producer decided to talk to them. And then, for some reason, the one thing that brings all these girls back together after Raven was a jerk wasn't her going and apologizing. Her dog falls into a hole.
What?
And that brings all of them together, because this dog falling in not a very big hole, and not a very deep hole, is like town-wide news. Like they get some reporters in there, this is televised, and all the characters see this and go to not really help, but just watch and say, oh yeah, that sucks that your dog's stuck in a hole. Also, you're just a mean jerk. Also, your dog's stuck in a hole. And then they sing to bring him out. And then they record a music video while the news station is there. And the thing about this movie is the editing is already complete garbage. But when they decide to do a musical number, it is shot like a really bad 2000s music video, where it's shaky all the time and they're getting up in front of the camera. The irony is that Cheetah Girls is already a really corporate thing from Disney, and the plot of the movie is that they don't want to go corporate. Like the bad guy's idea is like, oh yeah, you're not the Cheetah Girls anymore, which they very loosely were the Cheetah Girls, is to say, oh, each one of you is going to wear an animal mask, a different animal mask, and you're going to lip sync, and then he's the villain. But like, that's already what Disney already does with half of their musical talent. I had more fun with this movie by making fun of it, so it gets a -6 out of 10.
Joe, do another promo.
Right now?
Yeah. Kale, say something about the website.
It exists.
How do you find it?
Go to josephmaldonado.com there.